Part 2. Working with mental programs. I have already mentioned that every mental program differs from one another. It is also different in the rate at which its sides interchange. The program changes sides once one side has been fully recharged. This brings us to the important question: what recharges our mental programs? Every mental program is recharged by one thing: our energy. This energy is what feeds a mental program and helps it strive and flourish. Every time our thinking is related to the subject of the program, be it us dreaming about a cigarette or blaming ourselves for having had one, we create an energy channel that supports the life of the smoking program. It may be hard to believe, but everything that happens to us in life is retained and strengthened by no one else but us. To ensure that a mental program has an opportunity to turn, it must have sufficient energy for both of its sides. Once the program starts actively switching sides, say every few minutes or hours, it means you are dealing with an addiction. What makes a mental program turn sides at a higher speed? Think about a first-time smoker. Unconcerned about the impact of nicotine on their well-being, they take the newly developed habit very lightly. However, the more the person smokes, the more unpleasant and unhealthy they start to feel, which means the mental program has been formed and began switching sides. This can go on for many years. The bigger the desire to smoke grows, the stronger the reluctance to smoke is. If everything is clear so far, let's move on to taking a closer look at either of its sides. To make it easier, we will refer to one side as side A, pro-smoking, and the other as side B, against smoking. It is very important to know that the sides A and B parts of the program are fed by your thoughts and emotions that make up their own nature. This means that once you are on side A, you begin thinking about having a cigarette. Thoughts and feelings appear that will enhance the desire to smoke. You begin producing the energy to support this side. This is the way side A grabs your consciousness. When you move to side B, you start feeling disgust and unpleasant sensations throughout your whole body. All thoughts and emotions are going to turn against your addiction and cigarettes. Now that you have begun forming an energy in contrast to the pleasure of smoking, you have given an opportunity for side B to recharge. When one side has received enough energy to exist, the program turns to the other one, and the smoker starts feeding it with energy until it is also full and ready to switch again. The most important thing you need to understand is that for the program to launch, it does not matter which side you are feeding, A or B. Once the program has been turned on, its sides will start switching fast, and you will not have enough willpower to switch the mental program off. The changing of sides will trigger a discomfort, constantly creating a mental conflict: to smoke or not to smoke. The problem is that people tend to look at one side of the program, the one that they are on at the moment. It is our inability to look at both sides simultaneously that makes us feel that these two sides are independent and exist on their own. Such vision deprives us of a possibility to eliminate mental programs that can be harmful to our health and life. While we view them as completely separate, independent streams of thought, these two sides of the program happily flourish because not only do they interact, but also grow from one another. Our mind creates an illusion that these sides are independent, and we jump from one side to another, struggling to achieve any result. Running side B of the program, we still support the other side, and vice versa. This means that when you think how horrible it is that you smoke, or how much damage nicotine does to your health. You are just strengthening the smoking program. To eliminate any addiction, you may need to go beyond either of the sides and eliminate both of them. The knowledge that I'm about to share with you will help you do just that. Once again, stay calm yet adapt to take appropriate actions when required. My recommendation is to listen to the recording a few times before beginning to apply its techniques in practice. Also, do not try and convince yourself that you no longer want to smoke. Do not lie to yourself. Admit that you are still a smoker. Accepting yourself for whom you are will remove the conflict within you, thus creating a favourable ground for our actions. Any urge to smoke should be viewed merely as an indicator of the mind still running a smoking program, thus as an opportunity to leap beyond the vicious circle by practicing the method. Now all you need is to be focused and determined to take actions when required. It really does not matter whether you believe in what I am saying or not. As long as you follow my instructions, you will be very surprised at the results that you will begin to incur as soon as you have started to practice this method. Techniques of goodbye smoking will simply push the program out of your mind by switching off the energy supply that is required for their existence. Okay, now that we have covered a sufficient amount of theory, it is time we got down to practice.